This meeting is called to order. Welcome to the August 14, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Education. I ask that you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silent meditation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. Has Michael been sworn in? Have you been sworn in yet?
No.
All right, so it's not on the agenda, but student board member report, we're going to swear you in first, Mike. So if you want to come up around Ms. Florio. You will, yeah.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? Okay, and just repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Janeski,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I do support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of student board member
the duties of student board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Absolutely. Allison, do I need a motion to amend the agenda to include a motion to? Okay. All right. Student board member report. Louis sworn in, but probably no updates, Michael, but certainly we look to our student board members for updates on what's going on in the schools and updates of things that are, that are in the works and plans and great things that, that you're experiencing. So that'll be one of your tasks. So you'll always see something on the agenda that says student board member report. And then you'll get one, and then Scott will give one for Sachem North. All right. Okay. Let's turn over to Ms. Trombetta. Okay, for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Scavo. I hope everyone's having a wonderful summer. The weather's cooperating with us. I want to welcome Mr. Larson. It's the first time he's sitting up here with us, so we're excited to have him with us. And just to do a big shout out to the facilities, grounds, custodial, clerical. They've been working overtime getting our buildings up and ready. They're going to look as good as they always do every single year, so be prepared for the first day of school. Personnel, Kristen's office has been working very hard to make sure we finalize our staff, so we're prepared for opening day. And we're all, getting ready for the beginning of school, and we're excited. It's nice to see everyone coming in, starting to get their classrooms set up. And I think everyone's getting more and more excited as the day comes closer. So I want to just thank everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Trombetta. Okay, if, item D is the approval of minutes for July 24th. Any motion, please? Stephanie, second. Mike Esterni, questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Visitors, Allison, any visitors tonight? Item 3, we have business items. We have a consent agenda A through H. Any motion, please? Okay, Stephanie, second by Matthew Bauman. Questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Item 4, we have a personnel consent agenda A through Q for our teaching staff. Motion, please. All right, Sabrina, second by Stephanie. Questions or discussions?
Just quickly, Rob, I just want to point out, and we see this on a lot of the agendas, but especially for coaching and other music and theater, there's a lot of OOD being hired, which is out of district.
Mhm.
My concern as we move forward is that if we don't start taking that seriously as part of the process on committees and hiring, that we won't have enough people to coach at some point.
Mhm.
So that list is getting larger and larger and larger. There's more out of district. If these people aren't teachers, sometimes regular jobs, the time frame does not coincide with being able to coach. So it has to be part of the process that, yes, we want the best person in front of the kids. Yes, we want the best teachers. But if everyone's leaving at 2:00 and they're not getting involved in music and theater and arts and athletics, we're going to have trouble as we go down the road. So I just want to make sure that we are seriously taking that into consideration.
Okay. And Christian, is that something that we look for? Coaching certificates and certifications when we interview?
So our athletic department, Gary Butel and Phil Torregrossa really spearhead all of the coaching assignments, and certainly we always offer it, out there for folks who are SCTA members. That's our first line of trying to get folks to be hired, certified teachers or
Mhm.
teacher assistants, and then when we don't have someone who's able to do that, or busy or whatnot, then we have to go to the out of district. And when we do go to out of district, there are instances where we have folks who are certified, but there are always coaching workshops and criteria and certifications like AED, CPR, and first aid that are required as part of that process.
Yeah. So yeah, and you're going to think in your head that I'm a broken record because I've been saying this for 6 years, but if we don't get them as they're coming in to do
Yeah.
more.
I think that
Like,
was my question.
Yes,
Is
we're,
that-
yes,
yeah.
we're offering it to the SCTA members. Of course, we're offering it to our current teachers. But if it's not part of the hiring process as integrated inside of, hey, what else do you want to do? Do you want to, that should break a tie sometimes of like, if we have two really great candidates and one wants to really invest into the community and be a part of Sachem, that should really be part of the conversation, in my one opinion.
If I could just add to that, on our professional applications that we have for every teacher who comes through our doors, there's an area for interest in the event that they have an interest in an extracurricular, a club, or a sport. And there are many conversations that I have when onboarding and indicating if they have a specific interest. For example, if someone says, I'm interested in kickline or cheer or cheerleading or maybe football or volunteering, that's where I would indicate to them the need for them to also jump in to get in contact with the athletic department about opportunities. And there are some positions that I know are very challenging for us to fill as a result of the fact that there might be a lot of turnover, and I may pop an email over or information over to the athletic directors, assistant directors, to just let them know that this might be someone for them to keep an eye open. But understood.
Yeah.
That's again collaboration.
Yeah, and
in
part of
departments.
this letter 4 is we're bringing back somebody that was excessed has done above and beyond and a tremendous job in the theater program. We need more of Mike. We need more of people like Mr. DiPerzio as well, so that these positions are going to the best people.
He
Gary-
is already approved
Yeah.
for that.
And Gary and Phil also attend the new teacher orientations to talk about all the job opportunities that we do have available for coaching.
Perfect.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second.
Rob,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
just one thing.
Yeah.
Just in for that my daughter is one of the coaches being hired,
Okay,
being for approved. So
okay,
just thought I'd let that be
Right.
known.
all right. I have a motion and a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
So if we could just take a moment, we have four, we have a little sneaking in the back, 4 of our folks who are new hires coming to the district, actually rehires, lucky enough to kind of snatch back some folks that we have had working for us in the past and get them back in the classroom. So if we could just take a moment for you to stand and just introduce yourself to the board so they can see your faces and your area that you're being pursuing, that would be super. Go ahead.
My name is Matthew Reeves. I'm a phys ed teacher at Hiawatha Elementary.
My name is Samantha Pulido. I will be a 6th grade special education teacher at Seneca Middle School.
Jennifer Fleming, I will be an 813 teacher at Sachem East.
My name is Ben Arnow. I'm taking a 4-year math lead at Seneca.
Thank you, guys. Welcome to Sachem. Okay, item 5, we have a consent agenda A through E for personnel, support staff, and a motion, please. Okay, 70. Second, Matthew Bauman. Questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried.
If we could just take one moment, we did have a resignation of one of our clericals here over at Samoset Middle School. We have a revision date for Linda Elena, but we just wanted to make sure, again, to congratulate her on her retirement.
Thank you. Item 6 is personnel agenda for administration, superintendent registration for New York State. Yeah. Superintendent Institute. Any motion, please? Okay, Stephanie, second by Michael Isernia. Questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Item 7, contracts. We have consent agenda A through R. I need a motion, please. Okay, Sabrina, second by Michael Isernia. Questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? All right, motion's carried. Item 8, donations. We have consent agenda A through D. Any motion, please? That's 70, second by Matthew. Questions or discussions? And all in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Item 9, we have consent agenda A through B for the Committee on Special Education. Any motion, please? Okay, 70, second by Matthew Bauman. Questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Item 10, monthly reports. Obviously, there's not going to be any updates on monthly reports, but I know we did get the name of the applicants. Did we say we were picking them at this meeting or the following meeting? The next one, because the deadline is August 15th. Yeah. So I would encourage, obviously, everybody to look at this, and then we'll bring it back to our exec session for the following meeting. All right. Item 11, closing public comment.
Done.
Nothing. 12, old business. Mr. Trombetta, we don't have any old business scheduled for tonight. There's no board discussion items, future discussion items. Sabrina?
Well, it's kind of old business, new business. Just can we speak to the update on busing situations? You know, last year we had tremendous issues in the start of the year, so I'd like to know kind of where we're at. I know you put it in our Friday packet, but just so that the community knows where we're at with all that.
Absolutely. I'm going to pass to Michelle, but we've been meeting with the bus companies weekly.
Yes, so last week we started the first of our weekly meetings with both Orange County Transit and with We Transport, just to make sure everybody is on target and planning and routing and getting their drivers and everything that they need in place for the start of the school year. So we did do a flip of the number of routes between We Transport and Orange County. So Orange County will have about 60 of our van routes, and We Transport, I think, is going to have about 30 of the van routes. Meeting with the contractors, we met last week, met this week already with Orange County again. We have another meeting on Friday with We Transport. Once we get to next week, we'll be meeting multiple times a week just to make sure if there's any hiccups, we're addressing them right away. The Office of Student Services did get the list of students for the van routes out to the contractors yesterday. About 650 of those students will be transported via Orange County. So they have started the routing process. So we'll know by next Thursday is our meeting with them, where they stand with the routing of those students. And if there's any issues, we're able to address them right away. And the same thing on a smaller scale now with We Transport. But the buses that were ordered for Orange County are in, they're at DOT, they're getting their cameras installed. They've had a couple of job fairs. They've hired about 52 drivers so far. They have about, I think it was like 45 monitors so far. They have another job fair coming up next week. So they're on it. And they do know that they have a pool of drivers they can pull from upstate if they happen to be short down here. So we are really trying to be on top of it this year, as are the contractors. They're really working with us. Lots of questions, communication going back and forth between our department and them.
In addition to the meetings, we also have Jocelyn Stone from OSS being part of those meetings. So she's addressing any questions they have immediately on the Zoom calls we're having.
70?
When is the last day parents should hear from the bus companies about their children's route? And if they don't hear from someone, should they call transportation office right away?
So right now, the expectation is that, well, August 26th is the last day for any changes for the first day of school.
Okay.
All of the routes should be completed and drivers assigned by August 28th. And that's when they should, the 28th, 29th, 30th, be doing their dry runs.
Okay.
And then they will also be putting the postcards into the mailboxes for each of the students. And then they're going to start those phone calls. So I would say if they haven't, the first two conference days, the Tuesday and Wednesday, those first 2 days after Labor Day, if they haven't received a postcard or they haven't had a telephone call, they should reach out to the district, and then we'll make sure that the contractors are on top of that.
So that would be, hold on, the 3rd and the 4th?
Yes,
Thanks.
yes.
Okay.
Everybody
right.
should have been contacted by
Okay.
that.
Is there a way we could put something on the website that's easy to have parents see it? Because if, God forbid, we're
Yeah.
having an issue,
So,
they know exactly who to contact.
so the route numbers are different starting number for each contractor. That's how we were able to identify them last year. I believe it was if your route started with the 800 series, it was a We Transport. If it was a 300 series, it was Orange County. We're going to do something similar to that for this upcoming year. And we will have something on the main website for the start of school, and then on the transportation website that says, you know, if you have any questions, if your route number begins with, you know, if you're 803, this is who you would call at We Transport. If you're 310, this is who you would call at Orange County. So the information would be there, but you always can call the district
And that's in the
transportation
portal.
office.
Right? They'll see their route number in the portal up by the bus information.
The route number, yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
they'll know that they can go in, look for their route number. If they don't see a bus, then they call the number on our website
Mhm.
according to what their route number will be. We Transport or Orange County.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
So organized.
We're trying.
That's awesome. Okay, thanks.
Mike?
Yeah, just a future agenda item. Rob, I guess we should have pointed out to the community that last year, our architect, John Grillo, talked about an energy performance contract that today on the agenda, we did approve Johnson Controls to begin that process, and that we would expect, you know, during the course of the year that there'll be updates made to us and the community about the progress of that. So that's a big initiative.
All right. Alex?
I just want to touch base back on the policy modification that I talked about last meeting, just where it is. Has anybody met on it? Have we made that change? Have we
I
had
was
that-
thinking about that. The policy committee hasn't met, Alex.
I know,
I-
that's.
So what we can do is we could actually make a motion to suspend it for this year.
Yeah.
And then work on that.
Can we make a motion to change it as the board without the policy committee meeting, and then just put it on agendas, first reading, the next agenda, the second reading, and do it that way?
I don't know.
We do have a bunch of policies that we're currently working on. I have a list of about 8 that we would like to get approved for, or at least put on for the first reading, possibly at our next meeting or the first in September, to kind of get going for the school year. So we were kind of waiting to see who would be on the policy committee this year and get a meeting set in place, because we do have some policies that need to be addressed sooner than later. So we can certainly look to have that added to that meeting once we know, who is set in stone.
Mike, are you planning on doing it this year, policy committee? It was Meredith?
No, there's
No,
no
there's no
community
community.
on policy.
It's legal counsel and board. Yeah. Yeah. So are you planning on staying on the policy committee?
Yeah, I mean, unless anybody else.
Anybody else looking to be on the policy committee?
It would just depend on what nights it was, when it was, what nights it was. I can certainly be an alternate.
Yeah, okay. So maybe we could schedule a meeting, possibly before our next meeting.
Sure, I
Yes,
can.
to review the policies.
I can check with Marianne and get some dates as to what works for her and put that out to the committee and get that list out to everyone so everyone can see what they're kind of looking at.
The gist of what we're getting at, we just want, the presumption will be that we will join, but at the discretion of the board on a given year, we wouldn't have to join. That's the gist of what we're talking about, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
And that way it doesn't have to ever be modified ever again, really.
All right. So Allison, you reach out to, all right. Those are usually, Zoom meetings. Any other future discussion items? No? Okay, we need a motion to go into exec session to discuss a immunization update as well as the Union Avenue update from our legal counsel. Stephanie, second by Matthew Bauman. All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you.